Hey guys, welcome back to the Anywhere and Everywhere podcast.
Alright, hi, my name is Caleb. I'm a TCK in the Middle East. I'm 16.
I'm Elijah. I live in Europe, also 16. And we have a guest with us today. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm 16 and I live in Central Asia. And pretty soon I'll be moving to Europe for boarding school.
Nice.
All right.
Okay,
so,
quick question. I have to ask though, how do you feel about boarding school? Are you excited or are you not excited?
I mean, I'm pretty excited about it because where I currently live, I don't have like a lot of people my age.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well
like that exists, or like
there's not a lot of 16-year-olds in my country.
No.
there's no
are there,
teenagers.
Like, statistically, a small amount.
Where do you
Okay.
live?
Okay.
Just, a small amount.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking language learning. So all of us speak different languages. I just wanted to ask, so could Elijah and Olivia, could you both just tell me how confident are you in your language abilities? Are you good at the language? You know, just I know pretty much both of you, but just for the podcast.
Olivia, you can go first.
I mean, I don't want to like brag or anything.
Flexing on
I
us.
mean,
I'm
I
fluent.
would say that I'm pretty good at like languages and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
learning my language wasn't like super hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel pretty confident in it.
Okay. What about you, Elijah?
I feel fairly confident just because I didn't really know any foreigners. Like I grew up as if I was a native.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I speak it like when I go outside. No one has ever asked me like where I'm from or
No way.
Anything. Yeah.
Not even for looks.
No. Well,
Okay.
I don't look too American either.
Right.
Like,
So
that.
I get that if I walk like outside my door, I have people like pointing at me. I've got a red hair, and I wear floral Hawaiian shirts. So like,
That's
where are you
not
from?
necessarily where you're from. That's just what's going on up there.
What,
you know
what
I mean?
who is that kid to let that happen? Who allowed that to happen?
Actually, for those of you listening, that is what I asked the first time I met Caleb.
Oh, that's nice.
And what I asked last time I saw him.
And every time we've ever called. We have a great friendship.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel pretty confident about my language abilities as well. I've been here for 6 years in the Middle East, and I feel pretty confident about my understanding of the culture and the language. And I wanted to ask you guys, as TCKs, do you see the value of learning culture as well as language? So not just the language, but how it works, how you, like humor and all that stuff.
I went to an international school, so I was kind of like forced to speak in English.
Gotcha.
All the time. But when we were speaking in the language, it was a lot of like street language, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a lot of slang
Street
and
language.
songs and stuff, and that's definitely important to know if you're going to like fit in with everyone, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that being a part of the culture is really important. Just to kind of, help people, and I'm not saying obviously the TCKs aren't normal. Well, I mean, we aren't normal.
We're actually
Obviously.
crazy.
Now, you can't say that TCK life is normal, but I mean, it gives you kind of a sense of root if you can really become accustomed to the culture that you're living in.
Oh, for sure.
Just kind of, something that
Makes you feel included.
that you feel attached
fit in.
to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't feel out of place.
Yeah, exactly. So I learned the language before I learned the culture, obviously, which is for most people. And so I actually know, like, there's a stark difference between before I understood the culture, really, and now I feel very confident. I actually feel like I'm more fluent in the culture than in the language. And so, like, I can make people, I add in a lot of English words when I speak, because that's part of the culture, is adding that in. Even though the textbook would say, obviously, never do that, because that's not what you're supposed to do. But the culture, everyone does that. And so it makes it easier for me to talk, and it makes me sound more fluid. And so I just kind of go with that. I more go with, like Olivia said, street talk, kind of just throwing in slang and stuff.
And I mean, I kind of learned the culture and the language at the same time. So when we first moved overseas, I was in second grade. So it was at the beginning of the second semester of my second grade year, and my parents dropped me me and my brother and my sister off at a national public school.
Oh, wow.
The second week we were there.
Oh,
Zero
my
language.
word.
Oh my gosh.
Zero
Holy cow.
anything. And they just left us there. So that was fun. I mean, I'm really glad they did it now. Obviously, then it was like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand a word of what anyone's saying and everything else. But,
honestly, when you look back at it, it's better to be thrown into it.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, and then, I remember, like, graduating middle school from, like, at a national school, having good scores or whatever else in the national, like, language or whatever. So it just felt like, like an accomplishment and like it was worth it.
Oh, for sure. So. That actually leads into my next question really well because you already answered it for you. But have you ever, Olivia, how about you? Have you ever been just put into a school with little to no language knowledge?
I mean, like I said, I went to international school.
Mm-hmm.
My brother went to a national school, so when we first moved, he kind of was forced in like a similar thing as like Elijah.
Yeah.
But I was blessed.
You got the good treatment. So I lived in Latin America before for 7 years, and there I was so young. I mean, I went to preschool, and I didn't know Spanish, but that's pretty much it. By the time we left there, I was pretty fluent because a little kid picks it up like that, just really fast.
Yeah.
I'm not fluent anymore. I've forgotten a lot, sadly. As for the Middle East, we came here, and then like after a semester, we went to a homeschool co-op type thing. It was in like an apartment, basically, really small deal.
Oh, that sounds sick.
This guy came up to us with his van and said, "I'll give you a free education."
Oh my word.
No, so we went there for a semester, and it was good, but then we wanted to be into national school, and so they sent us there, and I had little to no. I mean, there were so many kids who spoke English to where it almost didn't count, so they could understand me anyway, but I didn't know the language at that point, but it definitely did help me. Okay, so how hard was it before you knew the language? Do you remember, like, times where you were just struggling? I mean, like, there's some people, I mean, I don't think I ever had an in-tears moment about the language, but I know my mom definitely has, about just where you just want so bad to understand people, but you can't yet just because it's not physically possible to learn a language in like a month. So what about you guys?
Well, I mean, I was in second grade, so
Right.
I'm more of like so if I'm determined to do something, I'll just do it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So like I walked around school with a dictionary,
Okay,
Oh my
nice.
pocket dictionary, and I would look up every word that people would say to me.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
And then I would then look up every word in the dictionary that I wanted to say back.
Nice.
And then I would say it to them, which is why I had 0 friends. But
You're like, that weird kid with the dictionary? What's his deal?
yeah, so I mean, it eventually just helped out, and I mean, obviously, it was stressful. It's stressful for everyone, but that's just how I handled that.
Yeah, I mean, not to flex, but when I was in 5th grade, I made a dictionary in the language, so yeah. No joke, I got this, like, a class project to just do everything I could see, like whiteboard, pencil, desk, and just write them all down in the script, and then English, and also, like, the pronunciation of it. So that was really fun. What about you, Olivia? How hard was it before you knew the language there? When did you actually move to Central Asia?
I was in 5th grade, so I had a bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely struggled because when I moved, I had already established like a bunch of friendships in the States.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So I kind of had this idea that when I got overseas, I would just automatically make a bunch of friends.
Oh yeah.
Which was just not how it went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TCK life.
And I mean, like I said, I kind of have a knack for picking up languages.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really hard, but there were definitely times when I just wanted to be like all the other kids and just be able to engage in conversation
I know what you
with
mean.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so that's really cool. So we moved at about the same age. I was in 5th grade when I came to the Middle East. Now, I'd already been living in Latin America, which is very similar to the Middle East. No one would think that, but it is. And so we kind of moved at similar times. I also had established quite a few friendships in Latin America, and leaving them was tough. I did make some friends here, but just like she said, it's different. And I did not make them as quick. nor were they as rich of friendships. You know, it wasn't as deep, and so it was less. Yeah. Okay, so do either of you have any language tips or hacks that you use to learn the language quicker? Like any tips that you can tell other TCKs who maybe fresh TCKs who don't know the language yet, that kind of thing.
Get a pocket dictionary.
Pocket dictionary, or make one.
Or make a pocket dictionary if you want to be like Caleb here, but I doubt that's the case for many of you. So.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Download Quizlet.
Quizlet. There you go.
The best way to learn a language is honestly just to put yourself in situations that are probably going to be uncomfortable.
Exactly.
That force you to learn the language. So, like, I mean, and obviously, it's like there's no shame in not learning a language. You know what I mean? If you go to like an international school or something else, you don't have to. But at the same time,
but really, I'm just kidding.
To be more rooted in the culture, it's just cool to know two languages. I mean, people ask you if you're bilingual, you can be like, duh.
Heck yeah.
And then just like trying to spend time with natives and putting yourself in situations where you have to try to understand will be both a motivation and also a good way to pick up language, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, just tell me how cool this sounds. Are you bilingual? Oui.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go.
Please.
Dominance established.
Wait, you just spoke French, though.
Yeah, I speak French, bro. We speak a lot of French over here in the Middle East.
I feel so inferior right now.
Yeah. Je m'appelle. Okay, no. So my tip was also very, very similar to Elijah's. Just to push yourself out there and just go outside and just literally walk in the street. How I learned the language was I learned how to say, "What is that?" like in the language. And I would just point at stuff, like, what is that, what is that, what is that, what is that? And they would just tell me, I would write it down, and then or not write it down. You don't need to write everything down. I just learned it that way. And also I played a lot of football in the street. And, of course, since we're TCKs here, we know football is soccer. And if you say soccer, then you don't deserve to be on this podcast. I'm just kidding.
That is not true. All right, Caleb is the only... If you say football instead of soccer... email us and then unsubscribe.
Only America says soccer. Okay, only America.
You're the dictionary guy. You should know.
I should know.
Okay, just get yourself out there, get in uncomfortable situations, play with kids, even though you can't understand them, and you'll learn quick enough.
Eventually, yeah.
So what about y'all? Do you have any fun stories about like learning the language and stuff? Okay.
No.
I have a couple. So, I mean, I have more than a couple. I sent Elijah my notes before the podcast so I could have them on my computer. And he goes, I'm so scared. Because I just wrote like short abbreviated versions of the stories. And I had quite a few. I'm not going to say all of them. So, one of my favorite ones was, this actually wasn't me, but one of our friends. So the word for donkey and son is the difference between one letter. And so our friend is meeting with this guy, and he just keeps going like, wow, your donkey is so strong. Your donkey is such a good, it's such a good donkey. I think, what a great donkey you have here. And the guy, he's talking about his kid right there. And the guy's just like looking at him like, please, what do you mean? You understand this is my son, right? It's not a freaking farm animal, okay? He's like, your donkey is just so amazing. Okay, there's a lot of those where just the words are so close and you just have no idea which is which.
Oh yeah, I have one like that. It actually didn't happen to me. I mean, I was there. It happened to my dad, but this lady. Well, we heard a knock on the door, and my dad opened it, and this lady was standing there. She kept repeating this word over and over and over again, and my dad thought she was saying like husband. Where's the husband of the house?
He's like, I'm right. Come on.
So he goes, I'm the husband in the language. And she's like, what? And she just starts laughing really hard.
Oh, no.
He's like doubled over laughing. And my dad is so confused. And he's like, what? Obviously I said something wrong.
For sure.
Apparently she was the exterminator. And she was asking if we had mice. And my dad kept saying, I'm a mouse.
I'm the mouse. What are you talking? Exterminate me right now. He's like, I swear I'm really a mouse. And you just come up to the door. Sorry, this is a rare mental disease. Yeah, it's fine. He just goes and grabs some cheese. Oh my word. Wow. Okay, a quick tip for any TCKs who people take advantage of you not knowing the language. For the first year, everyone would come up to me and say, like, say this, and it's just a curse word, you know? And so I learned a trick. I put your mom on the front of it, and it almost always works. Like, so they'll come up to me and have these awful words, and I have no idea that they're that bad. I just put your mom on front, and 9 out of 10 times they'll go, how did you know that? Like, I thought you didn't speak the language. Like, come on. And yeah, so that really works. They think you know it from then on. And then they punch you in the face, but that's like a side effect.
Yeah, that really happened so much when I first moved overseas.
Oh my word, yeah. Say this. Okay, do either of y'all have any pet peeves about being a TCK? Like, do people ask you lame stuff?
I mean, I get that they're curious.
Yeah.
But a lot of people always ask me if I feel like... I don't even know how to explain this. Like, I'm in danger. If I feel like I'm in a lot of danger.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel more in danger when I'm in the States.
Like, me and my siblings were giving a presentation type thing about our country to, like, a group of kids.
Okay.
And, like, they asked, so, like, how do you feel about the dangers in your country or whatever? And I'm like, I feel much more in danger here than I did in the Middle East.
Wow, I definitely don't feel more in danger in America. In fact, I feel much more in danger here.
Well,
but
that's just where you live.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or, like, the funniest thing is when I'll have, like, a grandparent text me and they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
Right, they see, like, a headline.
And they see something from, like, a million miles away.
Yes. But, like, I heard in Australia.
Literally so far away.
Honestly, really... I just want to text them, like, every time something happens in America, like, oh my goodness, are you okay?
Right.
Like,
someone shot.
It's like, you know, some kind of thing that happened in Indiana, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Are you guys okay? Do you feel safe?
Are you guys okay?
Just call them. Just... Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves too. And also my main pet peeve is when they ask me.
I mean, they just care. So I mean, when grandparents do it, it's not as much. But like when other people just assume things about, you know, the country, your host country, or like, you know, think that America is like one of a kind, and like everywhere else is, you know, what you see of like humanitarian crisis on the news.
Right,
like
exactly.
Every country in the Middle East is like a combination of Yemen and Syria. It's not.
It's like, I actually have to sneak past the landmines every time I go to school. It's no problem. I'm homeschooled. No, they're in my house. I'm gonna die.
Oh my goodness. When I was in the States, I had to take a driver's ed class.
Oh no.
I mean, I always feel bad because I don't want to like make fun of people by like telling stories like this. But they always ask me like the funniest questions. I remember I told someone where I live, and she was like, "Do they have math?"
What?
I'm like, I'm pretty sure they have numbers everywhere. Yeah, I have people ask me if we have dogs.
I've been asked if we have water.
People ask me if I ride to school on a camel.
Oh my gosh! I told a girl I live overseas because you know I can't like say where.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I live overseas, and she goes, oh my gosh, you live on a boat?
Oh my word! That cannot be real. Oh my word!
No, it was, and I was like, no, honey.
That's not what that means. Oh my word. Okay, that's pretty hilarious.
Honestly, though.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. Or the shelter.
We talked about before the podcast not interrupting each other and then being awkward. I feel like I was just like, Yep.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, my word. Yeah, so in our language, there's a word that means good. There's two words that mean good, actually. One of them you can use for food. One of them you can use for people and actions and things. For example, you could use one word, I am good at football. I am good at cooking. Food, you say like, this food is so good. This is delicious. If you say the food good about a person, it means sexy or delicious, right? And so my dad... my dad doesn't know this, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh no, you're gonna have to censor this.
So he's over playing football with these guys, and he wants to compliment them on how great they are at playing, right? Their skill.
Oh my gosh.
And he just, at the end of the game, is just like, you are so sexy. You know what? You all are sexy. All of you here are sexy, okay? And they're just dying laughing. Like, they're just like, oh, thank you.
Oh my god.
And it's so good. And so another time, a guy came here visiting from the States, and also, now he was only visiting for like a week, but he still wanted to learn as much as he could. And so he learned the word for good, and he asked it about food, and so he got the answer for food, and he didn't know there's a difference. And so he goes with this guy and is like, your English is so sexy.
That one will get you in trouble.
For sure.
Oh
That
my
was so
God.
bad. It was so funny, though.
My dad did like something so similar to that. He went to go play soccer with a bunch of his guy friends.
Football,
and
yeah.
The word for a goalie is the same word as naked. So my dad goes, I want to be goalie. And he's just out there like yelling, I want to be naked.
I want to be naked. I am dying to be naked right now.
They were like, bro.
Oh my word, no joke. So I love this podcast. So podcasts, as I found out, are basically the coronavirus version of a YouTube video. You know, just lazy. You don't really have to wear clothes. You know, it's just.
Oh my god.
And I am fully clothed right now.
Thank you for that information.
Well, I mean, the guys are just like, hey, you want to play goalie? He's like, sure. Strips off his shirt, runs back to the goal like, I'm ready.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. Well, this has been really fun. I think it's about 25 minutes. I think that's a good time to end. I don't know. I don't know what the average time for a podcast is, honestly.
I mean, whatever you feel like.
3 hours. That's what I feel like.
Okay, I'm down.
I have places to be. Not really, but like.
Where are you gonna be at like?
That does
what is
not
it?
sound like my bed.
I have a lot of beds to be in right now. Okay, guys.
No, I'm gonna rephrase that.
Yeah, that'd probably be better.
It's just the one.
Okay, so thank you so much, Olivia, for being on the podcast. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Now you're gonna get a lot more fans.
You're welcome. I already
Okay.
have them, bro. I don't need your fans.
Oh my. Okay, well, yeah, this has been really fun. I'm glad that we got to talk language learning. I look forward to the next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've been listening this whole time, I am impressed. And also, thank you. Thank you. Make sure to email us. Our email is anywhere&everywhere.tck@gmail.com, and we do check it daily, so make sure we'll talk back with you. We'll respond. And Elijah, what's our Instagram again?
Our Instagram is anywhere_everywhere. Wait, no. Scratch that. Anywhere_and_everywhere_.
That's it. So it's anywhere_and_everywhere_.
That's fine.
Just freaking click the link in the description. Never have to think about how long that name is again.
Yeah. Never.
Please never.
We should change that.
We really
should. It's gonna change by the next podcast. So
okay, yeah.
Follow us quick before you miss the next username.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, now we're gonna. Shoot. Yeah. Okay, well, what a waste. Okay. Deletes every podcast we've made. Actually, it already has changed. This is me. I'm recording this post podcast. We recorded this, and we actually just changed it right now, and this podcast is not out yet, so I wanted to let you guys know that the name of the Instagram is now tck.hub. So we just wasted about 2 minutes of your time talking about how many underscores are in it, because there are now 0, but thank goodness the name has changed. Make sure to follow us. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Anywhere and Everywhere podcast. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace out.